Hello guys, I'm just about to leave to go and collect something very, very special from Hiscox cases, and I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride, not only to show you what it is that I'm picking up, but also to give you a bit of a factory tour and let them tell you a bit about themselves and anything else exciting they've got coming up, and just kind of show you what they've got going on. Thought it might be an exciting road trip, so here we go. Okay, so I've arrived. Here is the special super secret thing that I've told you about. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen this before, that'll be all of you, because this is actually the first time anyone's ever seen my van logo. So I'm sure lots of you are looking at this going, what is this? But if you've heard some of my latest videos, I've been talking about on Strangelove. This is my project and we're getting ready to launch, as you can see. And Hiscox cases have very kindly done a custom case, and my god, it's way more detailed and way more amazing than I ever could have imagined, and I'm literally over the moon. So
excellent.
If you wanted to talk a bit about what it is that you do and what you're planning to kind of go in the future.
Sure, so we are celebrating 40 years this year of making cases, and we are now launching our Pro 2 Plus range of cases, which is a step up from our already, from our standard range. This is we've got a thicker ABS shell, we've got upgraded catches and handles. There's some cloth options as well, so we're going to have some colour options, and we hope there'll be some more options coming, but that's a few little while down the track.
Awesome.
But we are going to open this up to bands, so if you are in a band and you want to get your logo on one of our cases, then give us a call.
And I can confirm by seeing this in real life, it looks even better than it does on camera, and the amount of care and detail that's gone into this has kind of blown my mind, to be honest. I mean, I've been seeing pictures, you've very kindly been sharing updates with me the whole way through.
Yes,
and it's been really interesting to kind of see the process that's gone into making it, and all the little templates, and seeing it nearly done, and then seeing the little teaser. It's been really cool.
Yeah, so. Well, we historically we've done this for makers for decades now. We make the cases for people like Loudon and Lakewood and Hanukkah and Firk, and historically all of this these have been carved by hand, but now we're marching into the future, and we've found a CNC machine.
Yeah.
And we can we can get these logos out nice and quickly now, and so it's nice to be able to get creative on the cases and add these personal touches for people.
Yeah.
So it's a really good process, really fun process.
Yeah, it's amazing, and as you can see, various colour options as well with the cases.
Yeah, this is our ivory case. Well, it's a great alternative to the black, really. It has massive amounts of thermal benefits as well. It doesn't soak up, your case sat in the back of the car and soaking up all the sun. This actually is great for deflecting that, so one of the reasons we chose that colour.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Plus, our cases are lined with a polyurethane foam, which has massive insulation benefits. So as well as the colour, the foam is doing its job as well.
Yeah.
Which keeps your instruments safe. And the other thing is they just look nice.
It looks great.
They stand out and they look good.
Thank you very much for letting me come in and invade your workspace and film everything. So.
Our pleasure, completely.
I've got to say, you handle being put on the spot way better than I do. So.
Well, I do. This is my job. I love being here. I love doing it. I love what I do. I love being able to make these cases. So it's
that's awesome. No,
it's easy.
It really shows as well. I mean, the quality of them.
You.
And
can we have a look inside?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
So Here we go.
Oh, it feels really nice.
Yeah, so this is our crushed velour. You've gone for the black option, of course,
Yeah.
which, you know, just looks absolutely great.
It's just so slick.
Yeah,
Love it.
it's beautiful. It's really soft. This is it's a crushed velour, and it is a foam backing as well, so it's just extra padding for the instrument.
Amazing. I mean, my cat is gonna love this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have some padding options. So if you want to put some fresh pads in there, we can pad around here to keep the instrument from moving, just to secure it in the case.
Yeah.
Depends, because this case was built around the Fender P or the Precision or the Jazz. But we can adapt the inside, we can adapt this area to get it to fit different guitars such as yours.
I'll bring mine in a second and we can show what fun it is.
Yeah.
Bit of me.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. I mean, I've been using the guitar case for my Telecaster probably since 2017, I think, which is a lot longer ago than I think it was.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, and that has never failed me. That's come to Holland with me.
Yeah.
And various things been thrown around, and it's still in great condition.
Yeah,
the guitar's never ever had an issue.
Well, we get testimonials daily of people who've had their case over 20 years, and it's been on flights, and it's been touched by the baggage handlers, those guys.
I've seen one recently, Wishbone Ash.
Wishbone Ash, yeah,
That was
amazing,
crazy,
yeah,
terrifying.
terrifying car crash. I mean, completely wrote the car off. Thankfully, everyone was okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Les Paul Jr. is still in tune after that beating.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they've been in floods, they've been in car fires.
Mine was in a flood. When my house flooded, my Telecaster was in that case.
Yeah.
That got flooded.
Yeah.
And it didn't touch it.
Oh,
and
wow.
The inside of the case, I thought, oh, maybe the case will be knackered and like full of all disgusting stuff. Not one single drop.
Really, brilliant. Oh, yeah.
I was amazed.
Yeah. So they do the job. They really do look after it. The design ethos at Hiscox has always been function over form. So we really go for that rather than looks. So
yeah. I mean, they look cool as hell anyway. So
it just so happens they look pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And even better now with the band logo on the front of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. But our ethos has always been the safety, safety of the instrument first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so one of the benefits of our foam here is that we can manipulate it after the fact. We have various ways of customizing the cases. As I said, I don't have any of the right colour pads here at the minute, but we can use these pads. So if we can add extra padding like this, and we can actually move this back if we need to in areas of just a slight bit, or we can actually change the shape of the press. So if we were going to do a new style guitar, we can get to this press, add bits, remove bits from it, whatever, to make this form into whatever shape we want to.
It's amazing. It's very versatile as well then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know of anyone else that can do this, and especially in our price bracket. Because then you start looking at the BAMs and the Coltons of this world, which is, more than double or triple the price of what we were able to offer.
I know that's one thing that got me with your cases as well, is how reasonably priced they are, but what you actually get, I know, they are really.
They're far too cheap. But no, we are designed by musicians for musicians, and what we want to do is just provide the best case, for the money, and we just want to protect instruments, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
For 40 years now. So,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that will just keep that off the back, and then we could put put some more pads here and here just to stop this movement.
Yeah.
And then we keep it nice and secure in there. And then these pads on the top That's put. Oh, they will. Yeah. So that'll keep it pressed down here and here. And this one will keep it pressed down at the back.
Perfect.
And we've got another one over there. So that will stop the movement anyway. And that's a nice connection there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited.
You don't have to worry about your base getting banged around anymore. It's,
Definitely.
you know.
And also, if anyone happens to take this case, it's going to be pretty obvious who it
That's
belongs
right, yeah.
to.
That's right, yeah, yeah. So that's a bit of cushioning there for the back. We'll pop one in just there as well. And then that will just stop the guitar from wanting to move up so much.
See, if anyone wants to do this at home, now they know what to do.
Yeah, well, we do have a set of videos online which we go through the whole making process, and we do go through the fitting process of these pads.
Awesome. I'll put a link to them.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we do, because any of the bits, if they fail over time, and we often get people with 20+ year old cases emailing in and saying, look, the case is fine, but some of the a piece of the hardware's dropped off or whatever. We'll post you a new catch out or a new handle out or whatever.
That's awesome.
And you can fit it yourself, no problem.
That's cool.
So we have put those resources available online, so you can do it yourself.
Perfect.
Or if you are in the area, in the West Midlands, and you bring your case into us, we'll happily repair it for free for you. No problem.
I can highly recommend.
Right, so I believe that is a well-fitting base.
That is a very happy looking base.
Just give it a little wobble test.
Technical term.
I think we're good. There we go.
That's amazing. I'm so pleased. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I know you can't see my face and you can't hear my internal dialogue, but I'm absolutely over the moon. Thank you.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Because I'm like always try to be the least intrusive person possible, and I'm just here like shoving a camera in people's faces.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Can't hear anything, so
Yeah, that's it. Nothing rattling.
awesome. I'll be like attaching a strap to the case so I can play it in the case.
Yeah. Well, we do backpack attachments for all of our cases, so you can wear them on your back like
Amazing.
a backpack for travelling. We do shoulder straps for them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So and you probably could attach your guitar strap to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are our backpack attachments, so they got some pretty sturdy fittings over here. And all of our hardware, this aluminium valance actually extends down behind the plastic, so all of our hardware, our handles, the catches, the D-rings, everything like that are actually riveted through the aluminium. So it's not just into the plastic, so you get a really good connection.
Amazing.
And I don't think we've ever had the case back with anything falling off it.
That's awesome.
In 40
Good
years,
to know.
it's never happened.
That's really impressive,
So
actually.
you can wear these on your back, safe in the knowledge it's not going to fall off. That's locked on, and now your hard case There's a backpack. Stick it on.
That's so cool.
There we go. Easy transport.
Give us a twirl. Amazing. Look, now I'm about to try this on, and I know that I'm gonna have to put the straps like as short as they can possibly go. But I kind of want to know how it sits at first.
Yeah, there you go. Oop. Okay.
And that's actually not as long as I thought. I used to like things being in my
Okay.
ankles. There you go. That actually disperses the weight a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing. Thank you.
Very welcome.
I'll be playing around trying to find the right height.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Get
That
it
counts
settled.
with everything, including my trousers, which I've rolled up as usual. That's amazing. I'm so pleased. Thank
Very
you.
welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, so traditionally, I mean, you'll see, I'll give you the tour of the place later. This, the business was built by Bryn Hiscox, who is a luthier. He learnt to build guitars out of a book in the 60s, I think. And,
That's mental.
yeah, and he makes amazing things. He plays them really well too. But this whole place was built really as just, it was supposed to be a bit of a side project for him.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he would have a couple of guys making cases while he carried on making the guitars. And, fortunately the cases kicked off in a big way, and
Yeah.
he's only just got back to making guitars. 40
After
years later.
40 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of the things that have been done here have been done from the viewpoint of a guy who works with his hands and is a bit of a technophobe. And so all of these things historically have been carved by hand. I mean, you see a lot of the tooling here has been hand carved. A lot of everything is made by hand, basically. And so what we're doing now is we're now able to do this on the CNC, which makes it a lot quicker, and we can produce things like that much more quickly and easily.
Awesome. And get very intricate.
Yeah, we can get far more intricate with them as well. So we are limited, of course, by we're pulling to sort of a 3mm plastic vacuum forming, so you can't get too much detail on that. But we can get, we could get more detail, certainly more than this.
I was actually going to say regarding these ones, the actual logo itself is quite an intricate logo, and it's amazing how much you've actually managed to fit on there, and it's really retained the vibe, because I wasn't sure kind of what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, your logo, the full version is more intricate than that, and I wanted to capture it as best I could with the limitations that we've got, and I think we've been able to achieve that.
That's absolutely spot on. Yeah.
So we've got a couple of cross sections here of cases. This is a generic ABS case, naming no names, and this is one of our cases. I mean, you can see the difference immediately, whereas the lining of these cases it's a polystyrene lining, which is just it's just a packing material. It's nothing. It's an insert, so it's been built after, and it's been glued in lightly to the case, so they're actually not connected at all. Whereas ours is a polyurethane, which we pour as a liquid, and that chemically bonds itself to the ABS shell and to the fabric lining as well. The shock protection, shock proofing, or what you'd like to call that, is just orders of magnitude better. Inside the case for the instrument. Not only that, is that this is filled millions of tiny little gas-filled bubbles, which the insulation properties this versus this are immeasurable. It's just massive difference. So you've got the shock absorption, and you've got the thermal properties as well.
It's all these little extra details that you wouldn't necessarily
Exactly.
think about,
I mean, we know about this stuff because we're case geeks and we make cases all day, every day. But this is something that you might not know. I mean, but this, it is the details like this, which is the reason that people like Loudon and people like Firk and people like Lakewood use us as their OEM case maker, and because they know the difference. Their guitar, their guitars are $5,000 upwards, and they don't want to chance it to
I don't blame them.
I mentioned earlier about the aluminium as well, so you can see here I mean, from the outside, it looks, you know, to anyone that maybe there's no extra difference in that. But then if you come and look at the top here of each of them, this is a generic one. You can see the inside of that, how far.
Oh wow!
How far that goes back, and so all of these rivets. Well, you can see that the rivets there in the front, they're actually just being held into the plastic. The handle, fair enough, is into the aluminium there, but the catches all the way around, and I believe the hinges on the other side, you know, they're just into the plastic there. So
not really what you want.
So it's, you know, there's nothing there really. But then if you look at the top of ours, our aluminium spans way into the sides, into the lid and into the base. All of our hardware is spec'd, so the rivets go through the plastic, the ABS, and through the aluminium as well. And as I say, in 40 years, we've never had it. Nearly 800,000 cases. We've never had one back with anything falling off it.
Those are pretty good odds. I like those odds.
Another detail about them is these handles, which are designed in-house by us, by Bryn Hiscox himself, and we have them made just down the road. So, you know, everything's handmade here in our factory in Cannock. There is a video again online available with Bryn talking about the handles and what the lengths he goes through in the design process. I mean, just the radius of this handle was poured over, you know, agonised over, just to get it just right for, you know, for people with big hands, small hands, everyone.
I mean, like, for scale, that's the size of my hand, and it's super comfortable. Whereas, I mean, I've always kind of struggled with ones like this. I know I'm a bit of a maybe slightly unique case because I am hypermobile, and it sounds really trivial and pathetic. But when you're carrying them, sometimes you've got to carry them miles before you actually get to where you're trying to go. And by the end of it, trying to play, like, after you've carried something such a long way, my hand's, like, seized up. Like, I literally can't move my fingers sometimes for a while. I have to wait for them to come back to life. So, okay, time for a factory tour.
So this is the start of the case's journey. So I guess the first thing to say is that every case that we've ever made has started life as a wooden carving. And so we go from the drawing board, and then we make something like this, which is standard classic. And these are all hand carved. And this is the start of the case's life. We make a wooden representation of the case. And then we go through various stages of pulling plastic over it and forming tools. But this is the very first stage. So we've got the lid and the base, and they're separate. The first tool we make is the master tool from that, and then we go on to making these, which are, should have had a tidy up. So this is one of our vacuum forming tools that we then make. So we build all this in-house. You can see one of the logo plates on there. That's for Emerald guitars over in Ireland. These then become our vacuum forming tools, and this is our vacuum forming machine, which is older than me. And
the monolith.
And has produced every single one of the Hiscox cases, sort of nearly 800,000 of them.
That's insane.
If it ain't break, don't fix it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
An amazing machine.
Yeah.
And it works great for us.
I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty right now.
Yeah, sure. Hiscox royalty for sure. We mould our ABS shell, we leave it to cool, we drop it down here, and we just use these to cut the plastic off, and they just live their lives in here. And then we end up putting some wheels on the bottom of them, and then we'll come over here, and we will trim our cases on the table just to trim off all the excess plastic.
Makes sense.
That's how we get that.
You could make skateboards as well out of the offcuts.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try and drop in on one of them. This is one of the flicks. So this is before they get trimmed. So they'll come down to here on the sheet, drop them on there, we'll put them out. We'll put them over there, and then that trims these to the perfect height.
I'm very familiar with those.
Found in a skiff, I think.
No way.
And then these are some of the logo plates that we have. So there's Real Croc and the ones we've done over the years. Brian May. We make the cases for Brian May. Mayonnaise, one of my favourites. There's Manson up there, over water, the Kangas. These are a lot of the bases we do, Yamaha.
That's cool. How many people do you think are going to be pausing on this frame trying to read every single one?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot. And there's more coming.
That's amazing. If that's not testament, I don't know what is.
Yeah, well, all of these companies trust us, so we're very proud of that, and we're looking forward to opening up this facility to the general public. And if you want your band logo on your case, then come see us.
Well, you know where to go.
Yeah, that's right. I guess this will be the next phase, which is these are our aluminium bending tables. Again, all of this tooling made in house. Designed in house, and we essentially, well, this is what we make. We get these aluminiums are, the profiles are designed by us. We have these extruded into straight pieces, and this is what we produce with our bending tables. Perfect replicas of the case, with perfect shapes of the cases.
Invisible cases.
Invisible cases, yeah.
Yeah, there's a market there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But yeah, all of that is done on our bending tables, which it's quite a process. The guy's very skilled. It takes quite a while to be able to get to that
I bet.
level to produce an aluminium that we can use on the case. So, and then once we have our aluminiums bent, it's more of our tooling, and we put our shell in here. We drop the aluminiums on, and this is where we add all the hardware. So these are the D-rings that we use for our backpacks. We add all of our locks and catches and our handle. Again, all this tooling made in-house. Every guitar case has its own set of tooling, so it's all very specific for each case shape.
That would make a great black metal album if you put it in black and white and just, pixelated it.
Even the drilling guides, we have these made in-house.
No way.
Which all drop on, and they hit little markers, and so it means we get the same holes in the right place every single time. And again, all done by hand.
Very clever. Yeah.
All done by hand.
It's amazing. I know I keep saying that, but it is.
And we end up with something like this. This is one of our Loudon cases, and this is just an empty shell. Nothing inside there yet, but that's what the guys in the carcass room will produce. And then the guys from our foam room will pick these up and bring them through here.
Thank you. Cheers.
And this is what we call our foam room. This is the tucking room, this is the foam room.
Wow. I feel like I've seen this in Half-Life or something.
No expense spent on the decor, really. So we have a very specific blend of polyurethane, which is custom to us, and that is mixed here in this machine. We can set the weights, we can set the temperatures, we can set everything, and everything we do is it's a very difficult process.
I can imagine.
So from the ambient temperature in the room to the temperature of the carcasses before we use them, to this temperature of the cloth, is all very tightly controlled, and all these things have to happen for the case to come together. So you can't just rock up and run everything cold. It all has to be set up. These are all ovens that we keep everything warm in.
So it's actually very scientific then.
It's very, very technical, actually. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's been, hours of research and development has gone into what we do, and of course the foam can be slightly different from batch to batch, so we have to be ready to deal with that. And we're dealing with quite high pressures as well inside the case, so we build these this clamping system, which so this is well past now, but you can see in here this is another base actually. So we take this out. the press. Again, another handmade item. There we go.
Oh wow.
So that's now the case. That is the cloth is chemically bonded to the ABS plastic and to the fabric there, and all of this is from this, which is again all hand carved, built in house, and this is how we create the shapes inside of our cases. So we can adjust these and change these around to suit people's guitars. If you have a specific guitar. Not just one-offs, but generally, you know, for companies like Loudon, for example.
Yeah.
Or for, we can tailor make your case.
That's amazing.
Configurations. Yeah. So we're keeping the next case warm before it goes in there.
Makes sense. I just wouldn't have like imagined any of this. It's really cool.
I mean. It's 40, you know, this is the kind of information you get together after 40 years of doing the thing and adapting to it. We've tried everything, we've done everything. So this is where we're at.
Amazing. So this is the result of all the trial and error.
Trial and error and lots of money.
Yeah, I can imagine. Amazing.
Yeah. So this is what we call the tucking room. And this is where we trim off all the excess cloth. We add the pads, we add the box lid, and then we can finish these off, tuck all of this down into the edges of the case, and then bring the lid and the base together and finish them off.
Wow.
So this is where it all happens. This is where they all come together.
I'm just looking at that because my sister had a cast on her arm that looked exactly like that.
Well, it's funny, you know, everyone's got their own knife, so it's basically a blunted kitchen knife, but it's perfectly thin and solid, and so when you want to tuck the cloth, we can get it in there, and it just runs in between the foam and the aluminium, and you get a beautiful edge.
Oh, amazing!
Just like
That's neat. That is so satisfying.
Yeah. And so that, I bet everyone has their own knife. So this is Gaz's knife. He likes it like that. This is someone else's. He prefers the tape approach, but not quite as big.
So we got the law.
I think this one's mine. Quite
Love
thin.
it.
I was making electrics this morning.
I like the little poster over there as well.
So that was an ex-employee, and Bryn used to take those to trade shows and put them up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Now.
Yeah. So this is some old memorabilia we stuck up on the walls, some old trade shows we used to
cool.
go to. Yeah, we don't use anymore. So. Yeah, I just thought we'd repurpose all the old branding stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, some old stuff there.
Wow. There's so much history in here, actually.
Yeah. Then once they're finished there, I'll move on to these. Just chuck them up onto the shelving, and this is where they get checked. You get checked over just to make sure everything's okay, and give them a little polish, and into the box, and off out into the warehouse they go.
Amazing. So that's the life of the birth of a Hiscox case.
Hiscox case. Yeah. There's a few stages and quite a few people involved in it, but that's the way it goes.
Amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Have a quick look in the warehouse.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. This is it, yeah. So just, you know, once we start building orders, we'll put them away in here, or keep our stocks just in here, and then out they go.
So then they're released into the wild once they go.
Yeah. So a lot of our presses and stuff down there, homemade racking, homemade tools, homemade trolleys.
Wow. Everything homemade. I love that.
Yeah. This is the freezer. So we do a lot of case testing in our turn the light on. So we do a lot of testing in our freezer, and we've got an oven that we built over there as well. So we periodically we'll just take some cases out of production, and we'll chuck them in the freezer and then straight into the oven and just really abuse them just to
Yeah.
make sure that, you know, we're satisfied with them. Because I mean, we do sell quite a lot of cases into America and into Australia and Korea.
Wow.
And so we try to emulate conditions on a container.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, anyone's kind of environment. So
Yeah.
but yeah, this is one of our.
Makes
we do a bit of testing.
total sense now you mention it, actually.
Well, there's nothing in there right now, but
No bodies.
nobody's in there. Yeah, and this is where we make all of our pads.
Wow.
So everything's made in house. Nothing's bought in. It's all made in house.
That is amazing. I love the fact it's all just done.
Yeah,
locally,
all here in the
yeah.
UK. Yeah. There's not many manufacturers left in the UK, especially not for no one for guitar cases.
Yeah.
I don't think. And
Wow.
no, we're proud to still be here. I mean, these have been on the wall probably for 30 years.
No way. They look like blueprints or something.
Yeah, they are.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.